Hi guys, as suggested by a subscriber, I'm gonna be reviewing the video called Why Exercise Will Always Be the King of Your Health. Chronic stress is the king of your health. It makes sense. This should be good.
What is the most important thing that you can do for your health? Is it some perfect superfood, diet, or
Yes, a man-made poisonous vegetable is a superfood. Exactly.
supplement? Is it some perfect sleep routine or
Yes, powders, synthetic lab-made powders and pills.
meditation retreat? Or could it possibly be cold plunging or use
He's also into cold plunging, the guy who made this video. I already reviewed the video in the past.
of a sauna? Is there this
Extreme cold, extreme heat, all of which is stressful. So far, he didn't show anything healthy.
magic bullet for your health? Well,
Yes, it's nature.
not totally. And although some of the things that I just mentioned are definitely important contributors to your health, I'm going to make the argument that the closest thing that we do have to a magic bullet for our health is exercise. There's not one thing
Yes, exactly. As I said, chronic stress. Yeah, it's a magic bullet. It's a bullet, for sure. I agree with the bullet part.
that touches as many body systems and improves the health of those body systems as exercise does. And today, we're going to talk about how and why that is by discussing each body system and health parameter that exercise improves, like how it reduces your risk of dying from almost anything and even reduces your risk of certain cancers. We'll also talk about some of the key components that you should include in your exercise routine. And we will have to spend some time comparing exercise to diet. It's definitely going to be a fun one. So let's jump into this anatomical and physiological awesomeness. So if you ask people, what is the most important thing that you can do for your health? Many will often pick some aspect of diet or exercise. So we'll definitely address diet versus exercise.
Yes, because people are brainwashed. Of course, your diet, what you eat, is super important. It's the most important part. But people then talk about plant-based diets or some kind of nonsense man-made diets instead of talking about what we are naturally supposed to eat.
At the end. Now, like I said in the intro,
Okay, I have to say, he looks really unhealthy. Whatever he is doing, it is not healthy. He has very prominent dark eye circles, which go pretty much all the way around the eyes. That's as bad as it can get. That's a very, very bad indicator when it comes to your health. That means that you're chronically stressed. And if you do cold plunges, saunas, and if you exercise, which is the worst part, especially 5, 6 times a week, almost every day, then this is what you should expect. All the fat also seems to be gone around the eyes. The eyes are kind of sinking into the skull. Also, a very bad sign. The teeth are bleached to give the appearance of health. I don't know why it would indicate health, but I kind of understand it, but I don't see it that way. To me, it just looks fake automatically. That's what you notice the most. He is not promoting health 100%.
nothing seems to stimulate as many adaptations in as many body systems as exercise does. So, as defense attorney for exercise, let me argue
It stimulates your whole body because the whole body is stressed depending on what you do, but usually there's nothing good about it.
why that is, starting with the cardiovascular system. A well thought out cardio plan that
Very bad for your heart, especially cardio, which means the heart. How did anybody start believing that stressing your heart, making it beat really fast, is good for your heart? Well, I know the people who are pushing this. It's more of a rhetorical question, of course. It's just insane that people believe that It's good for you.
It includes a few steady state cardio sessions, and even just one high intensity session per week will improve the strength of the myocardium of the heart.
Prove that. Come on.
So then your heart can pump more blood with each beat, making your heart more efficient. It will even increase the size and number of the mitochondria.
That would... Oh, this is getting good. I love it. Mitochondria. 3D animation. Oh my god, man. It's just...
In your cardiac muscle fibers, again contributing to the efficiency of your heart.
He's just talking about stressing your heart so that it beats more and faster. There's nothing good about that.
As your heart can
It's a twisted logic.
now utilize more oxygen, process lactate more effectively, and generate more ATP. These cardiovascular
Religious beliefs cannot be proven.
benefits don't just affect the heart, but they also extend to the blood vessels. You will literally grow more of the tiny exchange vessels called capillaries to the myocardium of the heart and to the skeletal muscles. And this is sometimes referred
Again, adaptation to stress, bad.
to as increased capillarization. And with more capillaries, you can now deliver more oxygen and remove more metabolic.
Yes, because your body believes that it needs it because of the stress. And that's why eventually you get a heart attack or your heart simply fails.
Byproducts from these tissues. It also improves the health of the tunica intima, which is the inside lining of your blood vessels, making them less likely to form plaques, which those plaques can lead to strokes and heart attacks, which we obviously want to do our best to avoid. And cardiovascular exercise also improves the compliance of your arteries, which is a fancy way of saying that your arteries are more elastic and supple, if you will. Because if you have a nice elastic, supple artery, as blood gets pumped into that artery, it will stretch, but then recoil, which will help propel blood further downstream, making it easier on the heart and lowering blood pressure. And we're still not done yet. Exercise will also increase the number of
You didn't even start. You haven't said anything so far.
red blood cells, increasing the
Yeah, 3D animations. Go on.
oxygen carrying capacity of the blood. And it will also increase blood volume, meaning you'll have more blood circulating throughout your body. Now on to the muscular benefits. Muscles can
Yeah, because it's stressful. That's why it circulates through your body. You're just saying, if you chronically stress your body, your heart is gonna pump more, it's gonna pump faster, and there's gonna be more blood flowing through your body. And that's good for you. How is that an argument? You're just saying the consequences of chronic extreme stress. How is that beneficial, you know?
change quite a bit due to exercise. Moderate intensity cardiovascular training or lower weight high rep resistance training will improve the number and size of mitochondria in the slow twitch muscle fibers. And combine that
Religious belief cannot be proven.
with the increased number of capillaries that we already talked about, those muscle fibers will be more resistant to fatigue so that you can now run and cycle longer and do more repetitions.
Yeah, your body adapts to whatever you're doing. That's true. Is that a benefit? Is it a benefit to be able to cycle longer, to run longer?
It will also increase the amount of myoglobin within the muscle fibers. And if you haven't heard of myoglobin before, it is a molecule that's similar to hemoglobin. And
It's a molecule. Wow. Okay. Show it to me. Prove it. I can't really because it's never been observed. Also, it's a religious belief. You just read it and you believe it because you were educated by the system. Well, yeah, but... and that's it.
is found in muscle fibers and it binds to oxygen. And clearly, resistance training will increase the size and strength.
No, not true. It binds to zinc, then the zinc binds to calcium, and then to the mitochondria. The mitochondria release light, and that happened 2.4 billion years ago already. Get your facts straight.
Strength of your intermediate and fast twitch muscle fibers. Now, obviously, increased strength is great for athletic and sports performance, but this is so important for longevity and health span. And you can think of health span as the number of healthy and functional years that you have as you age. But the muscle fibers that atrophy
But everybody who lives to over 100 years lives a sedentary life. What are you talking about?
first as we age are the fast twitch fibers. And this is because you mostly only engage them through higher intensity resistance training. So heavier weights and lower reps or through speed work. So even if you have an elderly person that is active with activities of daily living like yard work, or maybe they even do moderate cardio, yes, these activities are great. Keep doing them, but they still won't fully engage the fast twitch fibers, which
You should only do what you feel like doing, as long as it's natural, of course, when it comes to food, for example. Do you feel like running? Ever? Do you literally just stand there and feel like running? If you do, then do it. I've never heard of that. And you would for sure not want to run for even 10 minutes, let alone 30, or who knows what these crazy people do.
can lead to atrophy of those fast twitch fibers. So engaging in heavier resistance training once or twice a week can make all the difference. And I'll get a little bit more into those exercise protocols when we give a sample exercise program at the end. Now, even though the point of today's video is to discuss why exercise is kind of the king of your health, towards the end, we will talk about how diet and supplements contribute. And so as a teaser to that, I want to say thank you to the sponsor of today's video, Create. These guys created the first creatine monohydrate gummy, which is awesome.
Creatine, I should say, is toxic. I proved this in a video of mine. Most of you have seen it, but if you're new to my channel, the link will be in the description. It's undeniable, meaning that this gummy thing is poisonous, 100%. Just try tasting creatine, the toxic powder. You cannot even eat it. That's how poisonous it is. It tastes horrible. That's what everybody says. I've never tried it. I never will.
Awesome for multiple reasons. One, they use the highest quality of pure creatine monohydrate, which
There's no such thing. Whatever. Let's skip this bullshit.
right now you are looking at the abdominal cavity. And you might be wondering, why are we looking here? Well, if I reflect the stomach out of the way, you can see this awesome insulin-producing organ called the pancreas. And with all the improvements in your mitochondrial number and density, and with all the metabolic activity going on in your cardiac and skeletal muscle fibers, you get some major spillover with your metabolic.
I gotta say, I can't take him seriously anyway, because of all the nonsense that he's spewing, but can anybody? When you look at him, he looks very sick. Actually, it's alarming. He should go to the emergency room. I really mean it. This is not normal, and his eyes are red. Oh, wow. How can you take health advice from somebody so unhealthy? It doesn't make sense.
Health. Exercise is a metabolic marvel. It enhances insulin sensitivity, helping to regulate blood sugar and preventing type 2 diabetes. Improved mitochondrial function in your cells improves energy use and fat metabolism. This leads to better
Religious belief, again, could never be proven.
cholesterol profiles, reduced inflammation, and weight management. For those with prediabetes or other metabolic issues, regular activity can reverse these trends, lowering risk for metabolic disease in a dose-dependent way. And it's not just about burning calories. Exercise reprograms your metabolism for efficiency.
Calories don't exist. I don't expect him to understand it.
I will often tell my students and patients that with diabetes, your body struggles with properly utilizing the macronutrients like carbs and fats, but exercise can help restore the balance. And speaking of the macronutrients, with exercise, your body increases its glycogen storage capacity in the liver and especially in the skeletal muscles. And so I probably should have mentioned this is one of the muscular adaptations, but increased glycogen storage capacity has influence on your metabolic health, so I guess it works here too. And now we present to you Jeffrey the Skeleton. He's been so excited for his cameo.
Nothing that he talks about has anything to do with your health. He's just talking about how your body adapts to you exercising, how it adapts to stress.
Today, can't you tell? Exercise is crucial for bone health. As we age, bone density naturally declines, raising risks for
Not true. That's never been proven. Show me a wild animal that actually experiences that.
osteoporosis and fractures. But resistance training and
That may happen today with malnourished people, for sure. It probably does. How are you going to have healthy bones if your diet consists of seeds, plants, and flowers? Green leaves.
And weight-bearing exercises like squats, hiking, or running can stimulate these cool little bone cells called osteoblasts. And these osteoblasts lay down new bone tissue in response to exercise, thereby increasing bone density and reducing the risk of fractures as we age. It's especially vital for females post-menopause, as females are 4 to 5 times more likely to develop osteoporosis than males. And we'll learn
Yes, because they eat even less meat. Of course. Look at what women eat today. They believe that they should be eating green salads and cakes, bread.
about why that is in our future osteoporosis video. So, Jeffrey, did your cameo fulfill all your deepest osteological hopes, desires, and dreams?
Why Jeffrey? Does he watch Hamza?
I hope so. And we can't forget about the health of your command center. Your mind benefits too. Exercise is a natural antidepressant.
But you didn't name any benefits so far. You just talked about how your body adapts to the exercise.
Releases endorphins, boosts serotonin and dopamine, and reduces stress hormones like cortisol. Regular activity sharpens cognition, improves memory.
What? Chronic stress reduces your cortisol? Chronic stress reduces stress. What? Stop it, man. This is becoming embarrassing.
Memory and combats anxiety and depression. It even promotes neuroplasticity, potentially growing new neuronal connections in certain areas of the brain. For older adults, it keeps judgment and learning sharp, potentially delaying dementia. It also enhances sleep quality, helping you fall asleep faster, stay asleep longer, and
stay asleep longer because you have no energy, because you're exhausted.
enjoy deeper rest by regulating circadian rhythms and reducing stress.
No, man, you should have a lot of energy. You should sleep 6 hours every night, sometimes 7. That's what a normal human being does, not fucking 10 when you go to the gym.
And on the immunity front, regular moderate exercise strengthens your body's defenses, improving immune cell circulation and reducing chronic inflammation, which lowers the risk and severity of infectious diseases like the flu and other respiratory infections. And so active individuals are less likely to get sick or suffer severe outcomes if they do get sick. So clearly, there are a lot of health benefits to exercise, but this is kind of where the rubber meets the road. All of these health benefits add up to an overall risk reduction in all-cause mortality. In other words, exercise decreases your risk of dying from many leading causes. Recent studies confirm that 150 to 300 minutes of moderate activity weekly reduces all-cause mortality by 20.
I have a meta-analysis, and I don't take epidemiological studies seriously overall. They can be an indicator of something, which shows that exercise decreases your lifespan. Even working out 40 plus minutes a week, not a day, already decreases your lifespan. Yeah. Read whatever you want, believe whatever you want. At the end of the day, you already know it. Exercise feels horrible. It's really stressful. It will create a lot of wrinkles, dark eye circles, and you will die prematurely. And you know it. And you can lie to yourself as much as you want. You still know it.
20 to 21%, while 300 to 600 minutes reduces the risk even further by up to 31%. But even small...
I would have to read it, but I don't care, because I don't care about unscientific studies anyway. This is not science, by the way. You probably understand that. There's epidemiological studies that say that seed oils are good for you. It really doesn't matter.
All doses matter. Based on large-scale studies, 15 minutes daily cuts risk by 14%. And this actually makes a lot of sense. If you take some of the biggest contributors to death, like cardiovascular disease, neurodegenerative diseases, metabolic diseases like diabetes, we already discussed how exercise improves the health of all those systems. But regular exercise even reduces your risk of certain cancers. Now, I do want to have a little bit of a checkpoint here. As I've been discussing all of the benefits of exercise, I was thinking to myself, am I being a little hyperbolic? Am I exaggerating here? Or am I going to give the wrong impression to the viewer? And the answer to that is no, we are not exaggerating the benefits of exercise. And I do believe that is the closest thing to a magic bullet that we have to maintaining and improving our health. And certainly one of the best things that we can do to improve our functionality as we age. Yes, people that follow an exercise routine can still get sick. They can still deal with certain health conditions. But this is about reducing your risk or reducing your odds of negative health outcomes and mortality. And we are talking about a significant reduction in risk that exercise provides. And again, is one of the best things that you can do for your health. So definitely a worthwhile endeavor. But if there was anything that I might be bordering on, giving the wrong impression on, that might be that exercise is the only thing that is important. And that is certainly not the case. There are obviously other things that we can and need to do to maintain and improve our health. And this is where exercise versus diet comes into play. Clearly, the ideal situation is that exercise and a proper diet go hand in hand. eating crappy food isn't going to do you any favors. You need the proper fuel and nutrients for your cells to perform their...
He shows green leaves, cooked meat, or what? I can't even recognize some of the stuff, which already tells you that it's not food, it's not healthy. Just man-made cultivated fruits, and I guess boiled eggs, or what is that?
Essential functions. But let me give you one last plug as the defense attorney for exercise. There is not one superfood or one supplement that promotes all of the adaptations and benefits that exercise promotes.
Oh, he does call it an adaptation, yeah. And how is that a benefit? Of course, you cannot eat liver and adapt to exercise. Your body is not going to be stressed, or your heart specifically, for example, which is what he talked about. If you eat liver, of course, it's going to be stressed. It's going to be pumping a lot if you run or lift weights or who knows what. Of course. But it's not a benefit. That's why eating liver organs doesn't do that to you. Because it's bad for you. Because the organs make you healthy. If a fast beating heart would be healthy, then eating raw liver and drinking blood would do that to you, but it doesn't. It does the opposite, essentially. It makes you relaxed. It nourishes you. It makes you calm. That's what health is. This fucking guy.
Promotes. Are there foods and supplements that enhance your health and enhance these exercise adaptations? Absolutely. But it needs to be a combination of multiple high-quality foods. And let's say you were eating the perfect diet. You were in caloric balance. You got enough vitamins, minerals, and you were getting your food from clean, whole food sources. But you never did any cardio. You never did any resistance training. You never did any mobility work.
Yeah, literally like every centenarian ever.
Do you think that perfect diet is going to magically maintain muscle strength and stop your muscles from atrophying? Do you think that perfect diet is going to maintain...
Yes, as we can see with our eyes, it doesn't happen.
maintain the strength of your heart and stimulate all the other cardiovascular benefits that we talked about?
How is it a benefit? Why do marathon runners then die from heart attacks? By your logic, if exercise is healthy, then you should exercise more and more and you would become healthier and healthier. That's your logic. If it's healthy, if you eat healthy food, you eat it more and more and you become healthier. Eat raw liver, drink blood, eat heart, testicles, whatever you want. You're going to become healthier and healthier. Do the same with exercise. Exercise 3 times a day. You're not going to be able to walk at the end of the week already.
Do you think that perfect diet is going to stimulate those osteoblasts and to lay down the new bone tissue and maintain bone density? I could go on, but you probably get the point. A perfect diet will not promote the...
Yeah, that's what food does. It maintains your body, including your bones.
Those adaptations without the proper stimulus of exercise. You definitely wouldn't be putting harmful substances into your body with a great diet, and you could maintain a healthy weight. You'd have reduced risk for many conditions, and you definitely...
If you eat healthy food, then your body will be in a healthy state. And that also, of course, means that it will have a natural, healthy body composition. And you will be mentally healthy and so on. Why would you need chronic stress for that?
Maintain baseline physiological processes. But again, just eating great food alone won't stimulate your muscles, your heart, or your bones to adapt, or have as great of influence on your metabolic health. But overall, I hope you get my point. You do need both, but a well thought out exercise program in some ways casts a wider net, so to speak, especially when we're talking about maintaining functionality as we age. And then you use that great diet and potentially some high quality supplements to fuel the development of those adaptations that you just stimulated through exercise. And of course, sleep, mental health, environment, etc. are important contributors to your health that we'll save for another video. But what are some general exercise principles that should be incorporated into your exercise routine that can stimulate these adaptations and therefore lead to these different health benefits? Well, I do want to say that there are so many different ways to build a very effective exercise.
Look at any of the face expressions in these clips. Nobody is enjoying it. Nobody. They all hate it. It's all stressful. It all decreases your lifespan and makes you unhealthy. All of it. Look at any clip you want. Do you see any joy, any happy human being there? No. Only suffering, only torture.
Exercise program. And I get so excited about this because you can tweak it and personalize it to your specific goals. But there are a few general principles that need to be in each of these programs. Some steady-state cardio, a high-intensity cardio day, and a well-balanced resistance training protocol.
Think about the logic of this guy. If you have a healthy body, you eat what you're naturally supposed to eat, you're in the sun, you do what you want to do, then you're gonna be healthy, obviously. But if you do what you don't want to do, and exercise falls into that category, then of course, you're not gonna be healthy. And that's exactly what stress is. Stress is you not doing what you want to do. Every time you do something that you don't want to do, you're gonna become unhealthier. And he believes that simply living the way you want to is not enough somehow. You need to stress yourself. You need to go against your intuition. And then that's how eventually you're gonna become healthy. Then why isn't he healthy? Why does he not look healthy? Why does he look exhausted? Why does he have essentially panda eyes? It's pretty much the most severe state that you can reach when it comes to dark eye circles and stress. Can somebody answer that? No, of course not. Thanks for watching.